Hi and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Swift Challenger 645. These are essentially a basic run through of how to set up and operate the caravan. Starting off first, you've got your black hitch head at the front and black lever. You have to have your black lever up to then twist down your jockey wheel onto your tow ball. Then once it's on, the black lever will snap down, push up this red button, exposing a green brake. You've got your handbrake just here, and you do have 13-pin electrics. So if your car or towing vehicle has 7-pin, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. However, you may lose a few functions such as AL-KO ATC through running an adapter. Then you have your jockey wheel on the side. 2 points at the side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. Now the caravan itself will come with a leg winder, or you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill and just wind them down. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. They're simply used for stabilisation. Now today we are using our test equipment, so you can see here we've got a red propane colour gas bottle with an in-date black gas hose connected. Black gas hose has run for 5 years, which connects up onto this regulator here. Hand tighten that to an extent and then just nip it up using a spanner. Once both sides are firmly connected, twist the gas bottle in the positive or open direction, which will feed gas through into the caravan. Working along, you've got your flue here. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice and clean and tidy, as that gets air even into the boiler when operated on gas. Then we have our test Acrol just here, full of clean drinking water, and you have 2 separate plugs. The first one at the bottom is if you want a direct feed from the Acrol to your sinks and everything else, and the other adaptation is for your onboard tank. The main difference is it's still a case of pressing the trigger and pull it out. This one here has electrical pins at the top, which you can see coincide with these. Press it in and it will feed it into the onboard tank, which you can then use. Currently I'm running directly from the Acrol. Then you have your battery locker. This is where the battery would sit itself, and then you have your mains lead plugged in just here. Again, this is a test mains lead. You do have a little bit of a cutout here if you wanted to actually feed the mains lead through and lock it up. Motor mover, we'll show you how to operate on collection day. Moving along, you have 2 inserts here, which is where your wastewater from both your shower and your sink will come from. You'll need a 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master that you can then empty out at the appropriate point on site. Then lastly, we've got your toilet function. So just here you have your cassette toilet. When the cassette toilet is full, there will be a light come on your toilet, which I'll show you later on in the video, telling you to empty it. To empty it, press up on the orange handle and pull towards you like so. Now what you can do as well is push that and pull it up, and it will extend into almost like a carry-on suitcase. Then once you're at your emptying point on site, twist that head to the side, open that up just like so. You want to tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing that button there to vent. Then what I do, this is only a recommendation, slide that open there, twist that open, feed in some fresh water, shut it up properly, a little bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent. Then on your cap here you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes into that cap, onto this stalk, twist the head back to the side and push it in so that that orange handle sits behind those white teeth and then can't be removed without pressing up. Then just above you have your toilet flush. So this is where your water will come in for the flush function. Get yourself a watering can or something similar to feed in the water. It can hold 12 litres. I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10, as if it overfills it can do a bit of damage. So put in about 10 litres of water. Also add a little bit of pink chemical if you like it to smell nice. Pink chemical works as a bleach without being corrosive, as you don't want to put bleach directly into the toilet as it's plastic and will corrode. Now, you don't want to travel with either of these two full. So just up here, little lead, open that up and drain off any water inside that system. This caravan itself will be fully drained before you leave. Then underneath your right hand side seat, you have first your boiler just here. Then you have your onboard tank. The onboard tank you can actually access by opening this up here, and you can see right now it's about half full. But keep that cap back on. Then you don't want to travel with the onboard tank full, because that can do a serious amount of damage to the actual caravan. So underneath here you have your drain valves. So drain valve, when you want everything completely drained, you twist this to the side, flick up both them switches. When you want to use the internal tank supply, you have this facing down and both of your taps to the side. When you want to use an external, you flick that to the side. It does have a little graph just there as well. But anytime you come off site, drain this off, because if any water is left inside the pipe and it were to get frozen and burst the pipes, it's going to be not an enjoyable holiday. But that's simple enough to use. Then you have these two blue boxes, which are your brain boxes for your motor mover. But simple enough to use. And then underneath your left hand side seat, you have both of your trips and your fuses, which you can see all your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position. You have a spare heating and hot water button and charger button, all ignited, showing that they're all working, and then a reverse polarity button for that function as well. Then you have a complete system shutdown button on this side. Press that in, nothing inside the caravan operates. If you need a little bit more information on that, you have a little leaflet here telling you what all the trips and fuses do. Then just here we have your main control panel. So this is for everything bar your heating and hot water. So power on, you can see right now mains is coming into the caravan. And then press view levels, you can see that 14 volts are coming into the caravan. Now that is with the mains lead plugged in, so that's going to show the amount coming from the mains. If it were a case that I weren't plugged in, I can see the actual amount coming from the battery. But you can also see as well that the fresh water tank is halfway full. So I've got a few choices down here. I can either press water pump, which you can hear that kick in, and that gradually begins to draw water from the Akrol to your sinks and everything else. Or I press fill tank. Fill tank will, once I've pressed it, draw water from the Akrol into the actual onboard tank system, and then using the correct switches you put it to the internal supply, and then you can use it that way. As I've just turned it on and the caravan hasn't been used in a little bit of time, there may be a couple of coughs and splutters. But what you would do is open it up on both cold and hot, and you're looking for them nice steady continuous streams. Let it run for about 30 seconds and you're after that nice steady continuous stream. If it's a case that there's the occasional cough and splutter, go outside and check and make sure that the strainer, which sits at the bottom of the water pump, is at the bottom of the barrel. If it's not at the bottom of the barrel, it's gasping through air. But yeah, super simple system. Power, water pump, filling up your tank and viewing your levels. You can also press in on them as well. Then we have your Alder system. So turn that on just there, press menu. It's a little bit hard to see because of the sunlight reflected, but I'll give you a run through. So this top one, that is for the internal temperature. You press the button and it goes up in 0.5. Then you have the shower icon. It starts automatically at halfway. Bear with me. There we go, that's better. So shower icon starts halfway, that is off. Press that in and that will heat up the hot water to about 50 degrees. Then you have your choice of source, so you can either use 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of electric, strictly gas by pressing on here, or a mixture of 1 and gas, 2 and gas, 3 and gas. Now do be aware that some sites do not have the capacity for 3 kilowatts, especially if they are extremely crowded, so do check with your sites before utilising that. Then press this setting button here and you have a few additional settings. Fat fingers getting in the way, but just a quick run through: internal temperature, water temperature, and then your heating source, and press off just there. Then we have your Dometic fridge operation. Turn it on, you press on this button here, and you can see it will come to this interface. You have 3 options for source. You have either mains, gas, or battery. Now that battery is for when you're plugged in with your 13-pin electrics to your car. It is not from your leisure battery. You will just get an error if you do that. But to change, you just press in. I'll just press this one just so you can see what it looks like when there is a hazard. You can see it flashes up and beeps at you, and the hazard icon comes up there. Then we've got your option here, the fast freeze. Press that in. That will prioritize the actual freezer itself rather than the fridge. Then we have the amount of power coming into the fridge, so you can either have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Those cells have just slightly died out, but you can see when I press again it goes back to 1. But yeah, easy enough to use. Mains, gas, 13-pin, fast freeze, and the amount of power into the fridge. Turn it off, press and hold, no more lights. Then we have your hob, grill and oven. This works standard to any sort of gas cooker that you may have home. Press in on the dial, twist it to the side and press with the igniter. You can see nice blue clean continuous flames. Turn that off by putting it back to the central position. Electric flame, just choose whatever gas bulk you want and it will get to that temperature. Then I'll show you the grill. As you can see, both sides of the grill nice and lit. Finally, oven. See if I can do this with one hand. There you go, a little bit awkward to see with the sun, but all nice and lit. Only other real thing to note, don't put down this glass sheet until all of these burners are cold to the touch and travel with it down. Then just here we have your toilet operation, which you might say is bog simple. At the top, put your flush button, press that in, and you can hear that motor. That motor is what would push around any water inside the flush system into the actual toilet itself. Then to remove waste, press away from you, opens it up, pull it back, shuts it up. Once this is full, once the cassette's full even, there'll be a red light coming on underneath there telling you to empty it. So just go outside and empty it up.